Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the Masonry Gallery Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use it. If you haven't installed it yet, please refer to a separate video included in the package, and you also have access to a PDF with instructions. To get started, go to your theme editor and navigate to the page you want to add the section to, and add it from the left sidebar. I already have it open. On the right side, we have some section settings. On the left side, we have some blocks. Let's start with the blocks. The first block is a collection block. From here, you can select a collection from your store. Let's say I want this one. Select it. And cool. We have some product from that collection. Down here, we have the products amount. This controls the amount of products you want to show. You can select up to 100, both on desktop and on mobile. We have separated option in case you want to show less products on mobile, so the section is not that tall. But in this case, 24 works fine for me. Okay. Down here, we have the product's background color. Right now, we don't see that color because the image by default is 100% height at 100% width of the product box. This setting is from the section settings, which I'll be covering it a bit. But this color is also being used on mobile, because on mobile, the images are on top of the product info. Let me show you. If I click here, that background color is being applied to here. Okay, let's go back to desktop. Down here, we have some additional settings. The first one is to enable clicking on the box to go to the product page. So this enables the user to click anywhere on the box. Once they click, they can go to that product page. So it's not only the button, it's the whole box. You can enable it or disable it. You also have the show hover effect. So that hover effect is for showing the product info. But you can disable it in case you don't want this effect and you only want a link to that product. In this case, I'm gonna leave it because I like the effect. Okay, and down here we can adjust that overlay color. Let's say I want something more blue, so I can select that. Cool, I have that background color on top. You can also adjust the opacity. If you put it on 1, it's 100%, so it'll be like this. But for me, 7 works fine. Down here we also have options to show or hide the product elements. Let's say I don't want to show the price. You can turn it off from here, see the product info, but not the price. You can do it with any of these elements. But for now, I'm gonna leave it like this because I want to show the price. Let's move over to the product. The product is pretty similar to the collection, but instead of choosing a collection, is selecting a product. I'm gonna select a product, let's say this product. Okay, and for this example, I'm gonna move it on top. Now we have the option to show the product image by default or add a custom one. I'm gonna add a custom one. Okay, now I'm using a custom background image. Okay, down here we have the same. We have the background color to click the box, the hover effect, the opacity, and to show or hide the elements. To make it similar to the other one, I'm gonna also use a blue color. Let's head over now to the custom block. I'm gonna add it from here and select custom. And for this example, I'm gonna move it before the collection. Okay. On this custom block, you can add anything to it. So you can add a custom title, subtitle, button. If you want to remove the button, you just remove the label and that's it. Okay, but let's say I want to add a button, maybe to add it to a collection. You can also select to open this link on a new tab. Down here we have some additional settings. Okay, so we have the background color. Right now it's white. We can select any color. Let's say we want something like this. You can select it. Okay, but for this block, I want to use a custom image, which you can add it from here. Perfect. Now, down here we have some additional settings. This is the block size. Right now the default is regular. So regular will grab the size from the section settings, okay? Right now some of them are bigger than others, but I'm gonna cover that in a bit. But this regular will be the small ones, okay? Now, if we want to make this a little bigger, we can select from medium in here, or we can make it even more big, so to select large. I think medium works fine for me. Good. Now, we have block position in gallery. So this means that this block, you can add it to a collection. Let's say we want to add this custom block, I don't know, maybe in here before this one. Okay, so from here, what we will need to do is click inside next collection. If we click here, right now we don't see it, okay, because we have to put here the position on the collection that you want to use it. Let's say I want to be on the position number 3, so I'll add number 3 here, and on position number 9. So that position will be relative to the collection you put down here. So in this example, I'm adding it on the 3rd and on the 9th. Okay, so this is good in case you want to add a custom promo or a custom link, and instead of adding the custom block many times, you can just add the position, the collection. Okay, so for now, those 2 spots works for me, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Now, we have here also separate settings on this custom block, which are the text alignment. Okay, we can put it to be left or right. Okay, but for now I'm gonna leave it on the center. Also, we have the vertical alignment. We can put it on top, center, or bottom. Okay, for now I'm gonna leave it on center. We have additional settings. The padding. The padding is the size inside the block. Okay, so for example, if we had this on top, okay, we can select the margin from that top area in here. Okay, but for now 10 works fine for me. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave this in the center. Down here we have the same but on mobile, okay, the padding and all that. And we also have the text styling. You can select a color. Let's say we want this to be dark. We can do it like that, okay? We can add a custom font and the margin on top and the bottom from that element. Let's say we want the title to have some margin at the bottom. Okay, cool. And we can also select the font size and the line height and letter spacing. The line height, it's the distance between the elements vertically. Let's say block title, instead of looking like this, it will be on 2 lines. Let's say we have this to be block title. Now, that line height will control the distance between those two. So let's say we want to be around here, 25 pixels or 37 pixels. Okay. The letter spacing is the distance between the letters horizontally. So if I want to add some space, we'll adjust this and we'll do it like this. For this, I'm gonna leave it at 0 because I want to use my theme's default settings. Okay. Down here we have the same, but for mobile. Okay. We also have separated the styling settings for the text block. Okay, and we also have it for the button styling. You can add a custom font. Okay, and you can also add a border width and border radius, 21 pixels. Okay, we can do it like that. And the margin, the bottom margin as well, the font size. Okay, cool. Down here we have the button colors. These settings on the custom blocks are separated because these other items have the button settings on the section settings, but on the custom blocks, we have it here. So right now, this works for me. I'm gonna move over now to the section settings. These two, I really didn't need them. So I'm gonna delete these 2 blocks. Cool. We have the option here for add a title, a custom title. We can put something like, okay. On grid styling, we have 3 options. These are custom layouts to show the products. Okay, these layouts are random. So if you want to try a different one, you can click on 2. And now these are kind of random, but it's up to your like. So you can also select 3. It made the first item bigger and the second one. And then these other ones are a combination of small and big. Let's talk about this option. We added this option in case you want to have control of which items or your collection look bigger than the others. In this case, the only bigger items are the custom block, but we don't really have control of the other ones. Okay, so let's say you have this featured product, and because it's a featured product, you want it to look bigger. If that product has a tag of feature, you will put here, and that product will look bigger. On my store, I'm not using that tag. I created a custom tag just for testing that, so it looked like this. With that tag, that product will look bigger than the other ones. Down here, we have additional options for the gap, so you can add a custom gap between the rows, the same with the columns. You have control of the grid. 10 looks fine for me, so I'm gonna leave it like this. So we have some options on mobile. We have 1 column, 2 columns. You can also select 2 columns to 1 or 2 columns 1, 2. This will generate a grid with 2 columns, and then the next item will be 1 column. The same with the 2, 1. And then you can also use by tag. By tag on mobile will make that item 100% like 1 column. For now, I think 2 columns works for me. Let's go back to desktop. Down here, we have some additional options. We have the text alignment on the grid. This controls the text alignment on all except the custom one, because the custom one has its own styling settings. And you can also select the grid item border radius. So it will look something like this. You can also select the image dimensions. Right now, all of these, actually, let me put this back because I want the square borders, okay? So image dimensions, you can select here original portrait or landscape. Right now, they're square, but if you want to add portrait, you can select it from here. This will have those dimensions. And you can also select landscape, and landscape will be like this. You can also select original, and original will grab the same dimensions as the main product image. Image fit is the option that I talked to you about earlier. Right now, they're by default on cover. But if you want to show the background color, you can do it like this. If you click on contain, the image will be centered and some background color will be added. This right here, the base image width, is the size of the small images on the gallery. So I can make this a little bigger, okay? And then the grid will adjust to that width. So if you want to make the images a little smaller, you can do it like this. Let me keep this back on square. Okay, cool. And the image fit, I really like the cover, so I'm gonna leave it like this. But if you want any of these small ones bigger, you will control it on the base image width. In here, we have some styling settings for the grid item, but for mobile. Now, down here, we have section styling. We can add a background color to the section. Let's say we want some gray. We can also control the section width. If I adjust this, it will be smaller and smaller. And the grid will automatically adjust to the size. If we want to use this section to be full width, we can do it by clicking in here. When it's on full width, this controls the content maximum width. But if you want the content to expand all the way to the sides on full width, you can click in here. This ignores the content max width. In this case, it creates a cool effect, so it will expand the width of the browser. Down here, we have some additional settings for the section. In here, we have some wrapping for the HTML of the elements. Let's say we want the product title color. We want to be red. In this one, it's not being applied because, as I mentioned, these settings are on the custom block settings. For now, I'm gonna leave it white. Now in here, we have this option because on mobile, it's not on top. of the image. We added this option to control the color. Let's say I want a dark color, I can do this. Let's go back to desktop. Down here, we have some extra settings from the product, font size, line height, the margins. Also, we have the product price styling. Down here, we have product compare at price styling, font size on mobile. Then down here, we have the button styling. So instead of shop now, buy now. You have here the max width, the border width, border radius. Let's say we want something like this. We have that border radius. Down here, we have the button colors. This controls the buttons inside all the boxes except the custom one. In here, we have the section title styling. Let's say we want the section title to be white. We can control it here. And let's add some margin. We can also adjust the top margin. And that's it. Thank you again. And if you have any questions or run into any issues, don't hesitate to reach out to us via the support page on our website. Take care.